I was caught shoplifting from Spencer's, don't you think I'd have a mugshot from December?
So your husband, has he had a conversation with you regarding this video call that you had with Donnie Blair where you got penis?
He knows all about that. Me and my husband are open with each other, honey. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all think that, like, me and him keep secrets from each other. We don't.
So he's okay
Y'all
with
think
you,
that just
like,
because...
sitting over there playing with Dick, with Donnie Blair,
no,
and all of a
I
sudden...
never did that. I'd go back and rewatch the live. Go back and rewatch the live.
Okay, so, like, Donnie Blair played with Dick then. Either way, so what? He was the giver, you're the taker. One of the two. It doesn't matter. It's one role to play.
For all of 2.5. For all of long enough for me to see that he was not playing, and I X'd out of the phone call and blocked him on Messenger. I have proof of all of that, dude.
It's still part of the dance. It's still part of the dance. You played a role in that sex call.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You played the shower girl.
No, I didn't.
Were you not in the shower when he called you?
I was in the bath when he called me, so I answered it.
So you played the shower girl. Duh. That's not what I mean. Duh. Like, Vanna White, she reveals the letters. You were the shower girl.
Considering my clawfoot tub doesn't have a shower, I don't think I was a shower girl.
Those are semantics, bro. Okay, you were the bath girl. It's not better that way. It's better to sound like shower girl. When all you see is my face in the video, it doesn't matter if I'm taking a shit, if I'm in the shower, or if I'm sitting on my couch. So he's spinning his dick and you're taking a shit? Is that what it was?
No, see, there you go, twisting words again.
But you just said that. I'm trying to get a better image.
And all your people are talking about lies, Joshua. Just be honest. Honest about what? These the one not being honest. People are on here saying I got caught shoplifting from Spencer's in December. Show me the mugshot from December. I've not been arrested since I was 18 years old, bitch. Go look up those mugshots. Why ain't y'all done that? Why ain't y'all done research on my actual past? Why ain't y'all exposed any of that shit? Why ain't y'all on some real shit instead of some bullshit lies? Why don't y'all talk about my drug charge? Why don't y'all talk about how much time I did in jail? Why don't y'all talk about that shit?
Ooh, drug charge. What about that? We don't want to hear about that. That's all messed up. We don't have time for that. But
but you want to bring up something that happened when I was 14, but now you don't want to talk about my past?
Have you spent time thinking about Nina today? Because Nina died because of you.
Nina did not die because of me, so I have no heavy heart about that, regardless of what you say or regardless of what anybody else says.
You should. Honestly. Why not? That dog died because you bred the parents with, like, they were family. It was inbred. And then you didn't have the money to take it to a vet.
Did I deny that the litter was inbred? I never denied that. But did I intentionally breed them? No. They bred because we didn't have the money to get him fixed. Right after that litter, we had the money. We took him. We got him fixed. Problem solved. Boom.
Right. Well,
now you want to talk about Louie's back legs don't work? That wasn't even Louie. That was her dad's. So you don't even know what you're talking about when you're on here telling all these lies.
Louie's from the same litter, right?
No, Louie is not from the same litter.
From the same litter of Nina that died.
Louie is from the same litter as Nina. And all of the other puppies from that litter are fine and healthy. Nina came out half the size as the other puppies. She wasn't able to suck. She wasn't able to eat. So I had to feed her. I did that for 4 days, and she died. A vet was contacted. The vet refused to take her in. I have no control over any of that. I did what I could. I put her under a heat lamp like I was supposed to. I gave her the milk that I was supposed to. I did everything that I was supposed to. But even the vet told me she's probably going to die. All the other puppies from that litter came out just fine. No issues. No nothing. He's been fixed. We're not dog breeders. So I don't understand where all this clout you're trying to get off of me about inbreeding dogs and dogs not being able to walk properly.
You're the one
and all
that did that yourself. I didn't inbreed the dog. I didn't have a dog die. I also didn't admit to it.
No, you had a cat die because you let it get
I've never had a cat
infected.
Die. And you know that, Josh. We've already gone
you want to say
publicly.
that that's not your cat, but we all know that you sat there and cried. You're not going to cry over an animal that's not yours. Let's all be honest.
I'll cry over any animal that dies.
No,
why wouldn't you?
You're not going to sit there and cry over an animal that's not yours. You sit there and
you're not going to cry over any animal that dies or suffers.
Infected cat that you couldn't go and afford to give flea medication. None of my dogs
back up a second, Josh. Don't overtalk me here because I'll exit you out. Okay, let me get this straight. Let me cover this situation. First off, that was not my cat. That was my landlord's cat. Second, I spent hours of my motherfucking time picking fleas off that cat while it lay there, and I told that landlord to take it to the vet. The next motherfucking day, it died. What more can I do about a pet that's not mine, that I spend time? And of course I'm gonna cry because it's an animal. It's a life. Animals are innocent. They should have feeling attached to them. Now fuck off with your stupidity and you can rejoin again. I can't believe you wouldn't have a tear shed for another fucking animal. Just because it's not yours doesn't mean it doesn't deserve your emotion, bitch. God, you're sick. Like, that's probably why you don't feel the remorse for the pets that have died in your care or have been not taken care of properly. My pets here in my home are taken care of, bitch. Damn. D, ask him why he's so worried about a chicken when he's committed fucking tax fraud. That too. We haven't even discussed the fact that he's openly admitted to filing Melody's child on his income tax so that he could get money and share it with her, committing tax fraud. We didn't even tackle that. This guy thinks people don't get sad over animals dying if they aren't theirs, right? I cry if, look, okay, if your dog died, I would cry just because I feel for your pain. I feel for your hurt. I feel for the animal. Like, this was not my pet, but this was an animal that was my landlord's pet. Of course it affected me. I spent hours with it the night before it died, picking fleas out of it. And also, you need to note that my pets didn't have no fucking fleas, but yet the landlord who lived upstairs was infested with them. But yet, none of them bothered my pets, because guess what? My pets are taken care of. Okay, bitch? Period. The second I could fucking see a flea on my pets, I would have so many fucking, I'd have a flea collar, I'd have that one-touch treatment, I'd have her to the fucking vet if necessary. Bitch, I would do what I need to do. And if I needed the money to take my pets to get them spayed or neutered like you need to, I would go to my following like you have no problem doing, asking for your cigarettes and your fucking nails. Why don't you ask your fucking followers for the $100 it takes to go and get your pet fucking spayed? No, because you're too selfish. And that's why. Truth hurts, don't it, bitch? I'm not gonna lie, I don't cry when someone else loses a pet. I feel bad for them, but I don't cry. I do. Especially something as close to home. That's why he doesn't have any feelings, just a friggin' mess. Yes, he did. What did Miss say? Let's see. Someone said you made a video making fun of a girl that got murdered. Please tell you didn't do that. I didn't make fun of a girl that got murdered. I made a video which portrayed everything we talked about in the video before. And it was just to get a rise. Everybody knows this. We discussed this. This is not something I have ever shied away from talking about. This is, in fact, something that as I launched the video, I went live 5 minutes later and told everybody the first line out of my mouth that I did it. Unashamed of it. It is what it is. As a drama streamer and a roast comedian, you're going to have to tolerate some adult content out here. And if you can't, then maybe D-Ditters is just not the stream for you. And I don't want to be rude to you, but I'm going to say I will be rude if you aren't respectful, and I will disrespect you back. Period. Are you ready to rejoin without screaming, Josh? Are you calm?
Of course I'm calm.
Okay, good. Good. So, We got that covered. Now, carrying back on, what about this situation where you covered like this child on your tax? Like, why did you do that? What was she? Did she convince you to do it, or was it your decision to do it? Because if she convinced you to do it, then she's in the wrong, and you're not in the wrong.
I was 17 years old. She was probably, let's see, she was born in 73. So however old that makes her, like.
So she was an adult, and she
was
knew
an adult.
the law.
Listen, let me explain. You asked me a question. Okay. Let me explain. So I was 17. Okay. We go to file taxes, and she's like, well, let's file together this year because they have an extra incentive where if we file together, you'll get extra back. Right. And I'm like, well, that's tax fraud. Like, I don't want to do that. She's like, oh, but you're 17. They can't charge you with it, but they can charge me with it.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. Well, so I blew it off kind of like it's like whatever. Still didn't do it for a little bit. When it came time for me to file taxes, she went with me. And we talked to the lady, and the lady was talking about, if you file together or whatever, you get the extra incentive.
Right.
So Mel's like, okay, well, we're going to go and file somewhere else. So me and Mel go out. We get in the car, and Mel's like, okay, go to H&R Block, and we're going to tell them that you're my brother and he's your nephew. And she was like, we'll get the extra incentive. So What did we do? We go to the H&R Block. We filed our taxes. Her signature's on there, right with mine. Her signature is on there stating that her son is my nephew. I was 17, a minor. She was an adult. She allowed me to put her and her child on my taxes.
Right.
Truth. So right there. You want the truth? There it is.
Okay, so she convinced you, she came to you and said that you could get some extra money if you put her child on your taxes, and then you guys split the money. And she said
Susie
you couldn't
said, but 17-year-olds don't file taxes usually. Well, this 17-year-old had a job, so I filed taxes.
But usually under 18, you don't have to pay taxes, though.
But if you work a job, you file taxes. I've worked from the time I was 15 until the time I was 25.
So, because you claimed that you had a child, then it just kind of reflected as you got extra money.
But I didn't claim that he was my child, no. I claimed that me and her lived in the same house and that he was my nephew and she was my sister. That's what's on the tax forms with my signature and her signature.
And she's not your sister and he's not your nephew is the problem, right?
No. Yeah. So go ahead. Everybody can call it into the IRS. Go ahead. Along with everybody calling in animal control and everything else because I'm so scared over here in my space boots.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you were told ahead of time that you could get in trouble for it. You just admitted that and said that you still went ahead with it. You were told.
I didn't say that I was told ahead of time that I could get in trouble.
You just said that.
For it. No, I said that I asked her, can we not
get in trouble? But she said that it was wrong. You guys discussed it was tax fraud. You knew it was ahead of time. You just said
That's what she told me. That's not what a professional had told me. You have to understand that at a very young age, I was very easily influenced by Mel. And if you haven't figured that out yet, then you never will. Because from all this stuff, you're not taking into the account of how much that lady influenced me as a child.
I know she did. She was the reason you did it. I'm not saying you're to blame for it. I'm not. I'm saying she's definitely to blame. I'm just saying that...
as far as you talking about me and Rosemary having sex and all of that, I was 14. Rosemary was 16, and Melody was like 30 or almost 30 at the time. Right. That my story has never changed. Go back and watch all the different lives where I talked about it. Okay, but I was not an adult in that situation.
No, you weren't.